Welcome to the Job Description Library eBites. This eBite focuses on editing a job description for which you have already started the approval workflow process. This eBite will cover editing a job description currently under review and completing your step in the approval workflow. Let's get started. Let's begin on the Job Description Library homepage. In the previous eBite, we started the approval workflow for our HR Project Manager position, and now we're ready to add information to the job description. Under Tasks and Activities, the My Tasks section shows the job descriptions assigned to you for review and allows you to approve or provide comments to other job descriptions. We'll click on My Tasks to begin editing our job description. You can see there are currently several job descriptions in the revision process. The Workflow Process column indicates our current place in the approval workflow. And we can see that I still need to approve job descriptions before they can move on to the second step. However, before I approve the job descriptions, I need to add more information. To edit a job description, we can select the desired job description and go to the Workflow tasks on the right side of the page. Under this tab, you can edit the selected job description, view and compare copies of job descriptions, approve the assigned step, view workflow details, and add or edit comments. I'll click on Edit Job Description so we can begin adding the required information. The first thing we see is the Job Information tab. The job title and job code are pre-populated, so don't worry about completing information in these fields. The Overview tab contains the job summary, which is one or two sentences that describe the main purpose and objective of the job. In other words, why does the job exist, and how can it contribute to the institution? If you already have your job summary, you can simply enter it into the field provided. If you need a little help getting started, you can search the library for summaries similar to your new job. I don't have a job summary for my HR Project Manager position yet, so I'm going to search the library and see what's available. My new job title pre-populates in the Search Text field, and several similar job summaries have already appeared. I like the summary for the Information Technology Project Manager, so I'll highlight it. I don't have existing text in my job summary text box, but if I did, I would click on the Add to Existing Text button. Since my text box is still empty, I'll select Replace Existing Text. The selected job summary text displays in the box, so you can edit the information as needed. In this example, I would edit the summary to reflect the purpose and objective of the HR Project Manager a little better. The Qualifications tab allows you to list all the requirements that represent the knowledge, skills, and abilities for the position. To begin editing the sections, I will need to click the Edit icon. I'm going to add the education requirements for the job by clicking on the Edit icon and then clicking on Add Row. If you want to add a new row, simply click on Add New Row. I'll go ahead and add the education requirements for the HR Project Manager now. Now that I've finished adding the education requirements, click on the green check mark on the right side to save your changes and hide the education toolbar. I'm going to do the same for the Experience section. The Licenses and Certifications section is slightly different, so let's dive in a little more. If your job requires specific certifications or licenses, you want to complete this section. Like the other requirements, we would click on the Edit icon to expand the section and then add a row. You cannot freely add text under Enter Licenses/Certifications, so click on the ellipsis to search for the appropriate certification or license. The Search dialog box allows you to search for any certification you may need to include in your job description. While you can expand the various functional areas contained in the dialog box, the best way to search for a certification or license is to use the search box provided. I know the HR Project Manager requires the Project Management Professional Certification, or PMP. I can search using the term project and the appropriate certification will appear. Clicking on Select and Close Form will add the certification to the job description. You can also add details for the license or certification if needed. In this case, I'm requiring the person in the HR project manager position to currently have his or her PMP or be able to obtain the certification within 1 year of hire. I'll go ahead and enter this information into the Details text box and use the time frame drop-down to select 1 year. Since the certification will be required, I'll also click the Required Radio button. We're finished adding the certification information, so I'll accept the changes and continue to the next section. While the Licenses and Certification section is comprehensive, you may come across a license or certification not included in the previous section. If this happens, you can utilize the additional licenses and certification sections to add your requirements. The last section on this page is for Knowledge, Skills, and Abilities, or KSAs. Like the other sections, we'll click on the Edit button to open the Edit toolbar and then click on Add Row. This section is similar to the Overview tab in that you can manually add the skills and abilities required for the job, or you can search the library for similar requirements. Let's click on Search Library to see what we can do. From here, you can search through hundreds of jobs for associated KSAs. Since the HR project manager will be supporting technology projects within HR, I want to search for IT project managers to see if I can use any of the KSAs provided. Let's take a look at the Search Filter option on the top left side of the page. You'll see 3 different options available. Search Similar Jobs allows you to search for jobs by function and subfunction. Search for a specific job provides a list of all current UT Health jobs in the library. And Search HR TMS content allows you to search through the jobs and KSAs that exist within the ONET and ROJD databases. These databases provide thousands of job functions that you can access within the job description library. For now, I'll search the Similar Jobs option. Select Information Technology in the first drop-down menu, then Project Management under Sub-Job function. Several related jobs will appear. Clicking on any of the jobs will display the associated KSAs for that position. At this point, we can review the options, check the ones that match our needs, and click OK to add them to the Knowledge, Skills, and Abilities section. Any of the items added to this section can be edited to better match your position, and you can continue to add KSAs from the library. We can also assign a proficiency level to each KSA, although this is not required. Click on the drop-down menu under Proficiency to view the options provided. I'll go ahead and finish the rest of this section and then save the changes so that we can move on to the next tab. The Essential Functions tab allows you to outline the functions of the position. I've opened the Edit toolbar and added a row, so I'll enter the essential functions for the HR project manager and ensure the percentage assigned to the functions total to 100%. Then I can save the changes and close the editing toolbar. The last tab in the Edit Job Description dialog box is the Job Requirements tab. This is where you will indicate the working environment, potential exposures, physical effort, physical requirements, and visual requirements of the job. All job requirements have been preloaded for you. Just look for the note that states, "Use the fields below for new jobs," and begin selecting the checkboxes that best fit the requirements for your position. We have now finished editing our job description. Before we move on, it's important that we check and save our work. You have the ability to run spell check on any of your job descriptions prior to approving them, and it is highly encouraged you do so. You can also preview the job description, export, add or edit comments, or share the job description with an ad hoc reviewer. You can approve your assigned step from this window as well. If you are satisfied with the information contained within your job description, you can click on Approve Step to complete your part of the workflow. Click on Approve Step Now to add comments and send notification emails to other approvers or participants. A confirmation box will appear, and you can then click OK to close the wizard. In My Tasks, the revised job description now shows a blue outline around the second step in the workflow, which indicates we have completed our part. Scroll horizontally to view additional details about the workflow process, or click on Workflow Details under Workflow Tasks. Please note, you can still add or edit comments even though you have approved the job description. At this point, your job description is ready to be reviewed and approved by your second-level approver. In the event you have already approved your step in the workflow and need to make additional changes, you can restart the approval workflow by opening the Workflow Details tab. Click on the Workflow Details button and then click on Restart. This will reset the approval workflow and allow you to make further edits. If you need to cancel an approval workflow because you no longer need a new job description, you can contact HR Compensation to cancel the workflow for you. Nicely done! You have completed the Editing a Job Description under Review eBite. Remember, if you have any compensation questions, email compensation@uthscsa.edu. If you have any issues with the system, email hris@uthscsa.edu.